Previously on Reality Dog Training. Just walking past it, and he just immediately recognized there was a ball there. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. I never thought I'd find myself in a sumo wrestling match in public with a pit bull type dog over a baseball. Look at that, complete focus on the ball. Come. See that? You know how many people are gonna troll me over this? A lot of people. They're gonna say, Zach George can't train the dog to let go of a ball. Well, in this case, I guess they would be right. I'm Zach George, and this is George. No relation. George has spent the last 4 months living in an animal shelter with minimal contact with other dogs or people. And it's my job to transform him from a wild and crazy dog to an incredible pet. Seems straightforward, right? Holy cow. Not getting that ball. George is a dog like I've never known before. I don't know if I can let this dog go. Let go! Yes! We did it! This might be the single greatest transformation I have ever seen in a dog that I've worked with. The hardest thing about fostering a dog, you fall in love with them. This is Reality Dog Training. Subscribe and click the bell so you never miss an episode. I've got some big goals with George today, so it should be a lot of fun. Now, at some point, George and I are going to have to address this whole issue of our nemesis, the baseball. So today I'm out here doing my morning walk with George, and I'm hoping to have kind of a combination of letting him enjoy his walk with doing some basic training today. So I think it's really important to kind of mix those two worlds together, free time and training. After all, that's what training is really about, isn't it? Teaching our dogs to listen to us in the real world during real life. During this walk, I'm hoping to do some proofing on stay and come, meaning I want to test them and see how reliable they are, out here in this environment on this particular day. We can get a different dog from day to day, especially in the beginning. A lot of that depends on their mood and how they're feeling and our mood and how we're feeling and weather. There are just so many factors. Let me try something. Let me just audit come when called. See that tension? I want to make sure I can get his attention on me. George. Rather than repeat, George, come here, come. If you've been working with your dog, try to give them the benefit of the doubt and allow them to think through it. Sometimes it takes a second or 2 or 3 for dogs to process our requests, especially in the beginning. Come, yes, good boy. I'm actually using his solid gold today as his currency. For some people, it might be tempting to pull their dog in, which, isn't the end of the world if you have to do it, but really try to give your dog the benefit of the doubt and really help them internalize the behavior of coming to you when you call them. Throughout this series, you've been seeing me reward George with his breakfast virtually every morning. When you feed your dog a great high-quality food like Solid Gold, using their meals for training is an awesome way to take advantage of how much your dog loves their food. Solid Gold is a really special dog food brand. They put so much research and attention to detail in their recipes, and they've created super healthy foods that are great for feeding and training your dog. If you're looking for an amazing food for your dog that has everything they need, check out Solid Gold. Get 30% off of select Solid Gold products by going to my special link in the description, solidgoldpet.com/Zach. Let's check on come when called again. George, come. So what do we do here? He's fixated on the grass. I called him, he didn't come. This is where I like to use the word NO. And remember, every time we say no, we need to follow it up with a consequence, but that consequence in this case needs to be very minimal. No. Gonna give him a gentle, look at that. That's all it took. Just a gentle encouragement with him to reel him in. And I liken this again to a young child. You're at a shopping mall. Yes. Okay, good boy. And you ask the child to come to you. They don't come to you. You get them by the hand and you bring them back. No need to use a really harsh correction. No need to spank the child. No need, in the case of a dog, to yank them with a harsh correction. We want to use the least aversive method that's likely to work. In this case, the least aversive method was simply a gentle tug there. And of course, we followed up with a reward when he started voluntarily coming to me. And you could even see he comes back on the word no, which he probably has learned from experience. He's just learned, okay, I'm gonna be very consistent here. And if you come back voluntarily, there's really something in it for you. All right, let's go, come on. I think this is a 15-foot lead I'm using today, just so he has a little bit of freedom. Yeah, getting some tension. He's on a scent there. George, come. Yes! I get real excited when dogs come to me right there. So real prompt response, loving that. Okay, so Come's doing great, but I also want to prove stay as well. Stay and come are so important. You cannot practice those enough or too much. Here, sit, stay. Just gonna get him nice and warmed up here. Yes, stay. So stay with distance, stay for a period of time, looking good. But I have a serious distraction planned for him. Pardon the construction noise in the background, but that's real life. Stay. Note, here's a real life distraction right here with these bikes. Good boy, look at me. Stay, yes. But you guys know George likes his B-A-L-L. So I'm gonna do a surprise stay. And it catches him completely off guard. Look at me, stay. Good boy. Look at me. Harder to get his eyes here because remember, that's his favorite thing in life right there. Whoops, you can see right there, I missed that first glance. Hopefully he'll give me another one. Waiting for a look at me. George's impulse control has to get better because even though he's tempted by something as seemingly harmless as a ball, I need to be able to get his attention off anything. So setting up sessions like we're doing today is what I need to do to accomplish that goal. Yes, good man. Stay. Leave it. I'm gonna put it back. Okay, let's continue on our walk. So I'm pretty amazed by that. Remember, we worked so hard. The other day when we went out to the park and we were practicing stay with that ball, we had to practice so many times, but he really started to understand the concept. So I'm real pleased to see that that training has carried over. You saw how he was looking at that ball. I mean, that is something he's very intense about. Also, notice how I'm not giving it to him as a reward in this particular training session. I wanted to use it primarily as a distraction. So I'm real happy with that. I'm real happy with stay. I think come when called could look a little bit better, but we're going to continue to work on that. He really enjoys starting off his day this way, and I really enjoy starting off with his training. So doing training sessions like this is how we actually teach our dogs to listen in real world contexts rather than just setting up training sessions in our living room, for example. We have to get out here and train in a place like this where they're going to be many times in their life. And you can see, I mean, that ball is more distracting to him than anything organically out here that we've encountered to date. And don't underestimate how much you need to use those artificial distractions when training your dog in the beginning, like we are with the ball today. Come. Yes! See, I mean, you can just see him reasoning. That was really significant because I was able to throw the distraction that way and get him to abandon the distraction and actually go the other way. That is incredibly useful when you're training dogs. How many times have you been in a situation where your dog sees something and you'd rather not have them fixate on that, so you'd rather get their attention off of that? This is how we train it. This is one way to go about training it, I should say. In the interest of making this exercise a little bit harder for George, just to really get him to reach even deeper on his impulse control, I'd like to be able to stand farther away from it. See, in other words, when I do stay and the ball's there, I'm right here. He knows I can get in between him and the ball. Like, he's not stupid. He gets that. Yes. Stay. But no, stay. So when I'm behind him and I throw it, it's so much harder to resist because he knows I can't get him. Stay. Leave it alone. Stay. Look at me. Come. Yeah. No. Yes. Stay. Leave it alone, buddy. I mean, look at his eyes. You can really tell this is a dog who wants that ball. And that's why I like using the ball in certain aspects of my training, or a toy that a dog really loves. Sit, catch it. Let go. No, let go. His let go is still a work in progress. Sometimes he's efficient with let go, and then other times he just isn't. My strategy is to continue focus on making his life incredible, regularly and consistently, when he does let go of that ball easily. Here I'm experimenting and offering him some real chicken, which I sometimes keep with me during training. I typically save food distractions though as a last resort when I'm teaching dogs to let go of toys, because using food tends to either quell their play drive or simply just act as a distraction. Clearly, George is not so easily quelled, and maybe getting some additional reps in like this might help us moving forward with his let go. But there's no doubt he is such an extreme case when it comes to let go. I mean, do you guys love anything as much as George loves a ball? Hold on. Looks like we have a dog approaching over here. Generally, George has been good with dogs, though. He doesn't typically react or bark at them. Oh, this is interesting. He's barking at the other dog. Wasn't expecting that. George, hey, sit. It's a little difficult to get his attention right now, but I am gonna break out the ultimate currency for him and see if this helps. Wow, I mean, look how he zones in on that ball over that dog when he was just a millisecond ago distracted by that dog and barking at him. I mean, that's a powerful currency. So this is something I definitely want to use to my advantage from time to time. Okay, good man, good job. So he's checking out these two dogs. Can I get his attention? George, here. Yes, good work. Now, I want to continue to maintain that because just as we saw a little while ago, it's not unheard of for reactivity issues to start emerging. So I want to really be on top of that so it doesn't become a continued pattern of him barking at every dog he sees. So you'll recall the infamous baseball incident we encountered a few days ago with George, where he saw a baseball on the side of the path and he was inconsolable. He was impossible to communicate with. We caused a huge scene. It was thoroughly embarrassing, but nonetheless, we can't blame him. He just saw something he liked. How's he supposed to know how to behave? So I'm hoping to better prepare him for that situation moving forward should he ever encounter a baseball again. And you might also remember we went out the next day, we did some impulse control training with the red ball, and he did really well with that. It took a lot of practice, but he was getting the point. What I have yet to do is to work with the actual baseball that we encountered that day, which I did steal, and I should probably replace. That's beside the point. The goal of this training session is basically to see if we've made any progress on that. Can I get him to walk past a baseball if I set it on the ground? I don't know. I am planning on using this ball as my currency though, because it is such a powerful currency. And I should say, I've taken George to a variety of different environments, the French Quarter in New Orleans, lots of people. I've taken him around dogs, the Mississippi River, and so many other places. And yet, the baseball seems to be his ultimate distraction. And it doesn't even have to be moving. It just needs to be sitting there. So I'm gonna try to do some impulse control training with the baseball, and hopefully we'll be able to replicate the situation we encountered the other day. This ball is forbidden. I don't want him getting this ball at all. It's not a dog toy. It's not designed for him. He'll destroy this ball in a heartbeat. This is literally the first time he's seen the baseball since that day. Stay. Leave it. It's very good. George, what's this? Yes. Okay, good. And well, yeah, okay. I was hoping he would prefer the other ball. Let me see if he's torn right now because he really wants that ball. George, come on. Good boy, fine. And I like that, oh boy. See, he's like, I like both of those balls, but I really want to check that one out because it's new, right? Dogs like the new thing a lot. Sit. Yes, good man. Let go. Good, hey. Oh, and see right now, he's lunging towards the ball. Stay. No, sir. Leave it alone. Stay. No, look at that intensity. I mean, look how he's leaning forward. I don't like this one bit. Stay. No. Look at me. Yes. Okay, good. And he can have that ball, but he's considering going right back. I think we figured out how to teach him to let go of this ball. George, come. Yes, good. Really trying to build value with this red ball here. So I'm getting a little bit of traction here. He'll play with this. He still loves this ball, but he's like, okay, I'm done with that. I want to go check out that baseball though. In my mind, that may as well be a semi-truck that he's trying to chase. He's not allowed to get that. Leave it. No. Look at me. Yes. Not getting that ball, buddy. Holy cow. Not getting that ball. No, sir. Come on. Good boy. Yeah, get that ball. That ball's fine. Here, come on, get it. Good. I mean, you can see he's pulling himself so hard that he's coughing here. I'm not pulling him back at all. George is one determined dog. Do any of you have a dog that gets this obsessed over anything? Sit. Sit. Stay. All right, we got some work to do. I was hoping this would go smoother. You got some dogs who react to other dogs. George reacts to baseball sitting on the ground. First of all, I'm throwing too much at him here, obviously. I thought that this currency would have been powerful enough to keep him off of that baseball, but I'm being proven wrong here. So I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna focus on stay for duration while I'm at close range with him. I'm gonna use some food here to see if that gets his attention. I've changed my reward to baked chicken, so hopefully that will inspire him. Just trying to desensitize him to a baseball right in front of him. I mean, literally, that's what I'm doing. I'm desensitizing him to a baseball that's sitting right in front of him. That's the weirdest thing I've had to teach a dog. Yes. No. All right, so I'm not, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask him to stay because my stays right now are not reliable while he's this overexcited. So I just need to find my working distance here. I'm just gonna do some counter conditioning. I'm gonna try to encourage calmness in the presence of the ball. Good boy, yes. Good boy. Yes, good boy. You might be wondering why I'm giving him treats right now. It's just to try to establish some type of normalcy with him. George, come. Yes, come on, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's run away from the baseball. Yes, good man. Very good. So I'm actually using an extra high value treat right now, using some real chicken. Yeah, see, he doesn't even care. He walked right past the red ball. No, sir, leave it alone. Good boy, yes, good. You want a ball? You want a treat? Here, you want this? Good. Come on. George, here? Yes. Come on, this way. Good. This way. Yes. Come on, this way. Ah. That was close. You can see this is turning into a pretty epic battle right here between the baseball and me getting his attention. I would be very happy in this training session if I could get him to walk past the ball while paying attention to me, even if I'm using heavy currency with him. Good boy. Good. Very good. Yes. So we made it past, but I had to really have a high rate of reinforcement with a very high value reward with him. I'm waiting for him to offer his attention to me. We do have a loose leash right now, so this is good. Yes, good boy. Sit, stay. Yes, no, come here. Knew he was gonna do that. Nope. George, come. Here, okay. Sit. But you can see how he's been so obedient in so many ways, but now I'm having a hard time. George, here, yes. Stay. Come. Yeah, no. Sit. Yes. Stay. Come. Yes. During brief moments of focus from George, I'm trying to capitalize and extend that focus by moving. If I can get his attention on me and promptly get him walking away from distractions in the future, baseballs or otherwise, then I think everyone's gonna be a lot happier. But he still has not got it through that thick head of his that he is to leave that ball alone under all circumstances. So that was a pretty tough training session, I've got to admit. We're not there yet, but he is making a little bit of progress. I was encouraged that I was able to lure him past it, under controlled circumstances, of course, with the food, but he is far from internalized stay with that baseball. So with this particular issue, we need to be satisfied with smaller steps in between our training sessions here, but he's given us something to work on for sure. Sit, leave it alone. Look at me, trying to end on a good note. Yes. Stay. boy. All done. Okay.
When Zach left to take Inertia on a walk, George immediately got anxious. By the way, this is George's indoor anxious bark. Notice the difference in these vocalizations versus the barking earlier when he saw another dog. I'm right here, George. Is that not enough? Hey, sweet boy, it's okay. Zach will be right back. Hey, George. Can you be quiet, please? Relax, buddy. You need to be quiet. Good boy, you're being quiet. That's good. Can you relax, please? Yes. Oh my gosh. Good boy, George. That's much better. Yes. Good boy. Okay, bye. Relax. Be good. Hey.
Hey. What's up?
Just trying to see what he does now that you're back.
Hey, man. How are you?
He was a little upset, but then when I left, he got less upset, but was still upset. And then eventually he settled, and I couldn't resist coming in and giving him some treats for that.
Oh, good.
And then he got back up after eating the treats, and I was waiting to see if he was gonna settle again. He did like a tiny bit of whining, and then you guys just came back, so, which is okay. That's the state of the experiment right now.
Can I let him out?
Sure, you can do whatever you want. I don't know. I knew I wasn't supposed to be training him, but he did like such a sweet settle that I couldn't resist.
Easy. Hey, we're not playing chase. Not in the house.
Oh,
Hey,
it's a pistachio shell.
By the way, guys, I love pistachios, and occasionally I drop one on the ground. It's probably not ideal for a dog to eat a pistachio shell.
You really loved it? Nice. Good job, George.
Good man. His real life leave it has been amazing.
They're super reciprocal in their play. See how they're both hitting the bowels, trading positions. She bites his head, he bites her head. He gets on his back, she gets on her back at some point. We have George on the tie out right now, just keep him contained. And of course, Inertia's staying right out of his range. And he doesn't seem to mind, they're having a good time. There is a chance that could frustrate some dogs, so you want to be aware of that, but he's happy to get any attention he can from her. This has been really healthy for Inertia as well, to get all this experience with a nice, big, strong dog. She's very intimidated by strong dogs. That come on strong, but George has been just perfect for her. That's the reason that Inertia backs off. So we have him on a harness here. We have been phasing in off-leash time, but right now they'd be running all over this place, plowing into things. Hey, did you know you could get 30% off select Solid Gold products by going to my special link, solidgoldpet.com/Zach. Subscribe to my channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and get both of my books. We'll see all of you in episode, is it episode 13 already?